welcome to my house and welcome to my channel. I'm Laura Cepeda and I'm very excited to have all of you like every Wednesday here in my house. Look, today I'm going to show you how you can make this beautiful sweater with these beautiful sleeves, bell-shaped sleeves, and you are not going to believe I make this sweater with my fingers. Yes, instead of using the hook, I use my fingers, and you know that this is a technique that opened the door so many years ago. To me, it was an important technique that I started to show in my videos and that I started to teach in all my workshops in Mexico and in many parts of the world. And I become one of the beginners using these techniques as a technique for create garments, to crochet with your fingers. So I'm very excited to show you all the beautiful things that you can make using your fingers. This is one. Also, I make this sweater shorter, but you can make it longer. And remember that you can use it as a long blouse or as a shorter sweater. You can put different sleeves. Remember that this is just an idea and you can create by your own. Remember that I will use this sweater as an exhibition, so that's why I make small sizes and I made this sweater shorter, also because I think that it looks beautiful too. But well, let's don't lose more time. First I will give you the material list and then I will give you the step by step, and I hope that you enjoy this class with me. So let's start. Okay, to make this sweater we are going to use 500 grams of Alice Show. This is a beautiful material. It's between medium and fine, and we are going to crochet with our fingers. But if you don't want to crochet with your fingers, you can use the hook of number 12 or 15. Remember that if you want to buy the same materials that I use in all my videos, here I will leave all the information. You can see all the different colors in the website. Remember that if you want to buy and use the same materials that I use in all my videos, you can visit my online store www.lauracepeda.es. Hello, I have a big announcement to make. I want to share with all of you that now you can download and you can buy all my magazines in this new app of My Ideas. Just you have to download the app of My Ideas, and there you can find all the different numbers and all the different volumes that I have made with this amazing editorial. You will see that these amazing magazines are so easy to follow. Remember that these magazines are written by me and I share all the diagrams so you can follow and clearly make these amazing projects with me. So please don't miss it and download all the magazines. Well, we are going to start by the neck. We are going to use 2 threads of this yarn, and we are going to use the hook for now because I want that the base chain are a little bit tight. So that's why I'm going to use the crochet hook of number 12. We are going to make 32 chains and we are going to start by the neck. And after this we are going to use the popcorn stitch. Well, when we finish to make the 32 chains, we are going to close in circle. Please be careful that you take both threads with you and that you are going to insert your hook in the first chain. Well, after this we are going to make the popcorn stitch. We are going to wind the yarn around our hook 10 times. 7, 8, 9 and 10. Well, we are going to insert the hook in the same stitch where we start. We are going to make single crochet, and then with this thread we are going to bring them through all of them, but one by one, very carefully, like this. And like this. Please be careful that you always take both threads, and when we finish we are going to make one chain to close this popcorn. Then it will look something like this. So this is the first popcorn. Then we are in the next, we are going to make a single crochet. Right away we are going to start making the popcorn. Remember that we are going to wind the yarn around the hook 10 times. Then next to it, remember that insert your hook here in the below part of the chain, and again we are going to bring them through all the threads by one, very carefully and slowly. And it's important that you don't lose this thread. Then make a chain to make sure that we are going to close this popcorn. Then a single crochet, and right away the next popcorn. We are going to continue like this the whole row. So see you when I finished. Look, here I finished. I already count the popcorns and I made 16. So you must have the same number. At the end I finished with single crochet. For the next row we are going to invert. Where we didn't make a popcorn, we are going to make single crochet, and where we didn't, we are going to make popcorn. And we repeat the same. Remember that we are going to wind the yarn around our hook 10 times, and we are going to repeat this series for 3 rows more. Like this, we are going to invert. Where we didn't make a popcorn, we are going to make single crochet, and when we make single crochet, we are going to make popcorn. So the last row was the first. We are starting the second, and we are going to make 1 row more like this. So see you when we finish to make the 3 rows. Well, now after the 3 rows of popcorn, we are going to make 2 stitches in each stitch. So like we made and like we start with 32 stitches, at the end we must have 64. So we are going to make 2 single crochet in each stitch like this. So remember to count them and make sure that you are going to have at the end 64. Well, after the 64 stitches that we increased, we are going to continue making rib stitch. The rib stitch is like single crochet, but only taking the back part of the chain. So we are going to continue like this. Remember to count 64 stitches, and we are going to make as many rows as we need until we cover our shoulders. Look, here I'm going to stop. Remember that this thread is going to tell us where we start and where we finish. So from here we are going to count. This is the where we are increased. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so in the row number 5th or 6th, we are going to increase. We are going to make 3 simples and 1 double. So in one stitch we are going to make 2. So after where we increase, we are going to make 3 simple. So 1 is single crochet in 1 chain. Remember making rib stitch. And then we are going to divide to create the armhole. So let's continue making this row like this. 3 simples and 1 double. And like this, just 1 row. Then we are going to continue making 1 single crochet in each chain for 3 rows more. Then we are going to divide to create the armhole. Remember that if you want a bigger size, we are going to make the increase earlier, probably here in this row, to increase more stitches and to make more rows with the stitches that we increased. But if you are following the same steps like me, remember that we are going to make this sweater for a small size. Well, I finished the row where I increased all the stitches. Remember that I make 3 simples and 1 double, and it looks like this. You are going to have something like this. Remember that we have to increase to have a bigger amplitude, and from here we are going to divide to create the armhole. It is important that we count our stitches. Remember before that we have 64 and now we have more stitches. From now on I'm going to continue with my finger. I'm going to make the next rows just making one single crochet in each chain. I'm going to make 3 rows more like this. Without counting the row where we increase, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 rows. Remember that here we increase. If you want this size for a bigger size, here we are going to increase again and we are going to make more rows with simple single crochets to have more amplitude and to divide the armhole. But like I'm going to make a small size from here, I'm going to divide to create the armhole. So here, well, I suggest, and this is a tip that I gave you, that where we are going to divide the armhole, we finish here. We finish with the thread here so we can continue straight and we don't cut the thread. So we are going to count and remember that we are going to have the same number of stitches in this side and in the other side. Here I'm going to put the marker and from here I'm going to start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we have 1 left, 10. So we are going to move the marker to have the complete pairs. So we have 10 in this side and with our thread in this side to continue straight. Now in the other side we are going to make the same. We are going to count in pairs 10 chains to create the armhole, and this will be our sleeves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And here I'm going to place the marker. Okay, remember that you have to take into account that the space that we leave in between the armhole, your body fits complete, okay? Fits well. If not, well, you can move the marker or you can put chains in between here to make the sleeve more bigger. Only if you need it. If you need it, if you don't, well, you are not going to put more chains. Well, here to create an A shape in our sweater, we are going to make an increased row like we made here. So here where we have the armhole, we are going to crochet them complete. So we are going to close. In case that you need to put more chains to make your sleeve bigger, here you are going to put 2 or 3 chains, as many chains as we need for your sleeves. But in this case, I'm not. So I'm going to go in straight and then I'm going to make the rib stitch. So this means that we are going to take the below part of the chain or the back part of the chain or just one part of the chain. So we are going to make 3 simples and 1 double. So after the 3 simple, here we are going to make in 1 chain, we are going to make 2 ribbed stitches like this. So we are going to make 3 simples, 1 double until here. So here where we have the marker, we are going to take the chain complete. Remember, we are not going to make a rib stitch. We are going to take the chain complete and we are going to make single crochet. Also, I suggest that before we continue, you should try on. So if done, remove the marker and put more chains there. And then we are going to continue with the same stitch. We are going to continue with rib stitch. We are going to make 1 double and 3 simple, 1 double and 3 simples. Well, we are going to continue like this. Remember that we are just going to make 1 row like this to create an A shape. So see you when I finish this row. Well, from here we are going to continue making as many rows as we need without increase. Please try on, and if you feel that you need to increase more stitches, well, you should make 1 row more increasing stitches. So far we have 3 rows, the popcorn stitch, then we increase 5 rows, we increased again, and 2 rows more, then we divide the armhole. And from here, it's important that before you continue, you should try on. If not, you can put more chains in between to make the sleeve a little bit bigger and to continue from there. And in my case, I don't want to increase more the size, so I'm going to continue with the stitches that I already increased. So I'm going to make as many rows as we need to have the long that we have. Remember that if you want to make more rows, well, it's up to you. You will need more material, but it's like you want, okay? So once we finish to make the rows that we need, we are going to make one row more of popcorn stitch, but see you there. Well, look, here I made from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 rows and one row of popcorn stitch. If you like it like this, well, you can leave the sleeve like this, like that. But I'm going to show you that I already get ahead and I made the sleeve and I think it looks amazing. I love how I create this bell shape in the sleeve and I love it. I think it looks amazing. I will show you how. But if you want, you can leave it like that. Let's continue. I will show you how you can make this beautiful sleeve. Well, we are going to continue using 2 threads. So here in the sleeve we are going to make a knot and we are going to continue. You can make these rows with your finger or you can use the hook. It's up to you, like you feel more comfortable. Well, I'm going to continue with the hook because I wanted this row, the first row of the sleeve, it's be tied. So that's why I'm going to use the hook. We are going to continue with the same stitch and we are going to make rows all around the sleeve. And we are going to make the same number of rows like we made in the other sleeve. So we are going to make 5 rows like this without increase. I'm going to put a marker here to point it out where I start and where I finish each row. Remember that we are going to make 5. So we are going to continue all around the sleeve. We are not going to close the row, and remember when we arrive here we are going to crochet here and then we are going to jump and start right here. I'm going to count the stitches to see if we have the same in the other sleeve. Well, I already counted and we have 20, so we must have 20 in this sleeve too. I finished the 5 rows and from the marker we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. After the 5th row we are going to increase. We are going to use our finger. From now on we are going to make a row like we made here to increase. So we are going to make 3 simple and 1 double. So here we are going to make 1 double and 3 simple. So it's important to see where we start the row and where we finish. So it's important to see the marker every time that we finished to have the rows that we need. So we remember that we are just going to make 1 row like this, and after this row where we increase we are going to make 5 rows more. Okay, so we are going to continue making 3 simple and 1 double. So here is where we start. I'm going to put the marker here. Remember that after this row we are going to make 5 and we are going to make 1 row more where we are going to increase. Well, look, here I finished the 4th skein of yarn, so here I'm going to use the 5th yarn. So I'm going to use 1 thread from outside and 1 thread from outside from the last skein of yarn that I have to continue using these 2 threads. So this is what I'm going to do. Well, I made the 5 rows, then I increased, then 5 rows more, and here I increased again. And here I must have the same number of stitches of this sleeve when I finish. I count them and I have 36, so we have the same number of stitches. So here if we have more, well, we have to remove some stitches, or if we have less, where we have to increase, then we are going to make the popcorn stitch. But before we are going to make 2 rows more with the same number of stitches, 36, and then we are going to make the row of popcorn. And look, here I finished to make the row of popcorn stitch. Remember that we make the same like we start, like we made in the neck. We wind the yarn around our finger or around the hook 10 times, and then a chain, and then single crochet. Well, when we finish, we are going to cut the thread and we are going to make a knot. Then we are going to hide all of these threads into the project like this. And with this we will finish. Remember to hide all these little threads, and we are not going to iron this garment. And so with this we finished, and I hope that you like it, and I hope that you have enjoyed making this garment with me. So look, remember that if you want to make a bigger size, you are going to increase twice here in the top. When you arrive here in the sleeves, in the armhole, you can put chains in between to make a bigger sleeve. So, well, what do you think? I hope that you have enjoyed making this garment with me. This sweater, it's amazing, it's so fast, and it's so easy to make it. This is a beautiful and a great begin to start your business, to your own business. Remember that you can crochet to sell, and this is a perfect garment to start. Remember that you can make more rows to make this sweater a little bit longer, but you are going to need more materials. I also encourage you to start making garments with your finger. It's an amazing therapy, and you will see that you are going to make these garments more faster. But well, remember that if you have an idea that you want me to make, you can send me your ideas to tejiamigas@gmail.com. There I receive a lot of ideas, and as soon as I can make it, I will make it. Okay? Well, thank you so much for watching this video with me like every Wednesday. For me, it's an honor that you are with me in my house every Wednesday. But well, thank you so much, and see you the next Wednesday. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.